Are you tired of the same old sports media? Are you tired of hot takes, arguments, and questions that are just completely off base?
Luckily, we have something for you. Touchdowns and tangents. Of the people, for the people, by people who care about the culture and all its concise commentary. That felt great. It was good, everybody. It's Kenneth Berry here. Touchdowns and tangents. Another episode, another week. It's titled 134, but there's a chance it might be 135. Who knows? We shall see. But most importantly, man, it's been a crazy, hectic week. Hope you're enjoying the summer. I mean, the City Boys already won the championship, so it's really nothing for y'all City girls but to do, but just sit there and, be happy at the celebration party because y'all lost. You lost before you even started playing, but it's okay. Anyway, I just want to shout out fellow co-host Pete Camarillo, off handled some business tonight for work. I think it's some type of event. Collect with all that. Hope you get all the free food and everything. Hope it all works out. Shout out to intern Serve on her way back from her trip from the Bay Area. I hope you had fun. Enjoyed the ride back. She even sent me a snap that she was at Nations. I was so proud. Like, no, I'm gonna give you. Hopefully, like, you put some ice in your Sprite because you were probably in Oakland. Like, at least be respectful. I know you did that. I just am gonna assume you did that, Serve. But I'm really just going to give you a round of applause for, or not Snap, but it was on IG. Yeah. Shout out to the IG post. You being at Nations. I hope you got a good slice of pie. Their food is amazing. Like, Nations is the best burger joint in California. But yeah, man, shout out to X Squad, full press coverage. T, he had a loss in the family recently. Deep loss. We're praying for you, man. We hope everything, we hope you, you're good. You're gonna make it through this exceptionally tough and painful time. And we're just glad to be able to be here for you and give you any kind of encouragement. So shout out to you, T. T Biggs. Shout out to you, brother. Much love to the Good News Radio as always. Good News Radio Sports is station number 2. Place is immaculate. Shout out to Keith Good News. All the hard work you put into this. Shout out to Jackie. Ramley all day. But yeah. Now, to open the show the way we always open this show, with a distinct conversation in mind. Really one thing left to say.
Let's talk about it.
All right, for those of y'all who don't know, Touchdowns and Tangents, we're getting shout out Good News Radio, F Squad, X Squad affiliates, full press coverage, everyone. Shout out to everyone. So we open the show with let's talk about it. Hashtag let's talk about it. Pretty much the most breaking news of the day. So I'm going to play a little video for you guys. Taylor Lewan tested positive for PEDs. And he did a polygraph to prove that he didn't know that he took the drug that he was taking. And I think it was really heartfelt. And I'm just going to play it. It's off his Twitter. I do not own what I'm about to play. I'm only playing it for contextually. I cannot talk today. We're playing this for some culturally concise commentary. Okay? Just context for the culture. That's all this is. About to play from his personal Twitter.
And it doesn't leave anything up for interpretation. I received a letter from the NFL a few weeks ago saying that I failed a drug test for Austrian. Austrian is a supplement banned from WADA in 2007. It's known as a SARM. The way the CBA works is a strict liability policy. So I'm completely responsible for the things that are in my body, whether the supplement I'm taking has it on the label or not. I want everybody to know that I've never taken the supplement knowingly, and I've never cheated the game, and I never will. I have notes. Those things don't really matter. What really is important to me is that people know that I'm not a cheater. I went and did a polygraph test about Austrian and knowingly taking it, and I passed that test. I've never taken anything that would cheat the game. I'm so sorry to the Tennessee Titans.
This is the part of his video where he starts crying and wiping his face, tearing up a little bit.
It's just hard. I'm sorry to the Titans and the fans that I won't be there for 4 games. I've never cheated myself, and I never wanted you guys to feel cheated. And I'm sorry. But I'm going to be better for this. I'm going to come back. I got my supplements tested by a third party. I'll release that polygraph. And there's also been letters on the UFC, Clemson, and other NFL players that have failed for Austrian as well. I'll make public. And I'll do whatever I can to prove that I've never done anything wrong in regards to supplements or taking anything knowingly. Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you to everyone who supports me.
Okay, pretty much the gist of that. So, yeah, it's not shocking when guys test positive for something and then they swear up and down that I don't know how this got in my body. Like, I'm not a known cheater. Whatever. Those are all very fine. And a lot of times accurate statements. A lot of cats could be taking one thing and it could trigger something in their body that produces something that shows it's banned. I mean, false positives are rare in that sense. But I think sometimes it probably might just be someone just not paying attention to what they're taking. But I also think that the NFL, they kind of really need to really readjust and look at how they handle their policies, how people test positive for PEDs. Because if it is a situation where cats can medically prove, like, like that first test was false positive, it was whatever, it was a fluke. If I had a backup test, like I've never tested positive, and as Lamont talked about in the video, I mean, two of Clemson's players are suspended for a whole year because of that. Will Greer, wow, it's amazing. Will Greer, the backup quarterback, or one of the backup quarterbacks, he was 4th round pick, 100th overall, out of West Virginia, transferred from Florida to West Virginia a couple of years ago because he tested positive for steroids. And, well, he never tested positive again since then. Went on to play at an All-American level for a quarterback, got himself drafted. So I do think in a lot of cases, some guys might just be taking something and it wasn't their fault. But this is a huge blow to that offensive line because they've been banged up and injured past couple of years. I mean, you look at a couple of years ago, the only team that had a better offensive line, arguably, was the Raiders. When, they had essentially an all-black offensive line and 3... Yeah, I'll go with 3. No, I'm going to go with 4. 4 of those guys were Pro Bowlers. 2 of which you could arguably say were all-pros. And the way Donald Penn played, but not giving up a sack for a really long time, you could say he played like an all-pro too, and then you had Gabe Jackson playing at a high level. But this Texans offensive line, Jack Conklin kind of had to step back. I think he was an All-Pro as a rookie, if I'm not mistaken. His game has regressed a little bit, but that's also, I blame a lot of that on injuries and play calling because offensive lines had a lot of different injuries. The play calling hasn't been the best. When they finally started giving, Derrick Henry the ball and he went crazy with it. There you go. And Taylor LeBron was voted back into the top 100 this year. I think he's at 77. He was at 78 last year or something like that. So, I mean, he's still a very talented and great player. And it really is a shame to see that he misses games because of this. But, hey, that's whatever. But speaking of, I don't know, this dude's case, I kind of feel bad for him. But I think more might be revealed if he ever decides to speak out some more. But this man was the fastest player at the 2019 NFL Combine. Zedrick Woods, former Ole Miss safety. His agent pretty much said he was battling turf toe, a really bad foot injury. Ran a 4.29 and decided to retire. Right before training camp started, he decided to retire. Actually played for the Jacksonville. Well, he didn't get drafted, and he signed to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Made it through all the mini camps and everything. And he was a long shot to make the roster, but also had a good chance too. But his lawyer and then the stories that kind of reported on his situation, pretty much he was unsure, had a change of heart at the last second. The injury probably was like, well, getting injured and having that kind of a foot injury, he was probably more like, well, this might not go great. I might be doing more harm than good and ruining my chances of making this team. So maybe that's what he decided. A lot of cats retire after the draft, even if they get drafted. Some cats end up retiring early. So who knows? But on to some good news. Very good news, in fact. I'm going to try this gunshot out, see how. Nope, still sounds like shit. All right. Quiet storm. I dig it. Okay, now this is an incredibly flashy signing. A couple players got extensions, contract extensions, and got paid. So, the first man would be Bengals wide receiver Tyler Boyd signed a 4-year, $43 million extension after a 76 catch, 1,000, almost, he had like 1,087 yards receiving, I want to say, and like 7 touchdowns. AJ Green went down. AJ Green's also in the last year of his career. Why'd I say that? When you play for the Bengals, it does cut years off your life. But he's in the last year of his current deal. My bad. Wow. So, they still got to restructure AJ Green's contract. And honestly, if I was him, I would be running out of Cincinnati. Like, you know what? I'm going to contender because it's never happening. It's never happening in Cincinnati. But it would be funny if he ended up like going to Baltimore. That would actually be kind of hilarious. And I wouldn't like fault him because AJ Green's been lingering in obscurity for the Bengals. Like, he's been their best player, the brightest spot on their team since he came into the league. And the Bengals just bangle. It's sad. But he got 4 years, $42 million, and it's around the same contract as what Sterling Shepard got. He signed a 4-year, $41 million extension, around $21 million guaranteed. So Boyd is around probably 22, 23. We'll see. But shout out to him for getting his bread. And he was in the